Hello and welcome to a new video. Today we're gonna look at another Master League Premier team. This team I played on stream today on twitch.tv/BigML. And I was running Excadrill in the lead with Mudshot, Rockslide, Drill One and Dragonite with Dragon Breath, Dragon Claw Superpower, as well as Shiny Shundo and in fact Shundo Gyarados with Waterfall, Aqua Tail and Outrage. I would say overall in Master League Premier Classic there are not too many viable Pokemon. Often the teams are gonna be very similar, and the kinda deal of this team is potentially luring out Dragonite answers with the Gyarados, right? Like and yeah, just having 3 good Pokemon, to be honest. Just having 3 good Pokemon that do have quite some play. First game we lead into a Togekiss. That's a pretty damn good lead, and they bring in Snorlax. I switch in my Gyarados right here after landing a Drill One. The Drill One landing makes sure that we're gonna have an easier time at keeping switch advantage. Also, in the course of this video, I think you're gonna see quite a few opponents who have underleveled Pokemon. I think the fact that we only have Master League level 50 available right now just yeah, causes that. People are playing anyway, even though they don't have the Pokemon. Maybe they didn't even know. Yeah, but I can't really do anything about it. So yeah, and they have Excadrill in the back. My Dragonite has a decent matchup against that. We just always no-shit the first move against the Excadrill, let it go, and then you can shield up the next Rock Slides and go straight Superpower. In this case, I felt like not even doing that. I was just like, alright, let's just land a Dragon Claw, and even if they Rock Slide me, we're gonna be able to Machamp them down. But yeah, they shielded anyway, and now we have 2 shields left, and 2 shields is gonna be enough to take out the Togekiss right here, and then we're gonna farm down the Excadrill. They throw another move, but we do have the shield, so doesn't really matter. Alright, next up we have a Machamp. This is not a good lead. We go into our Gyarados, and opponent does stay in quite a while. They go into their Dragon Breath Gyarados. We go for the Outrage right here. Unlucky for us, opponent decides to shield. I mean, we did build up, so does make some sense that they do shield right there. They go for the Crunch, and we are barely able to get to the Aqua Tail right here. And we go into our Excadrill again. We build up to the move. The Machamp has a lot of energy, but I know that Excadrill does win CMP over it. So my idea is coming out of the match with a move. Do have a little bit of a frame drop right there, and I do an additional Mudshot, but it's fine. Here comes the Machamp. We win the CMP tie. They let it go. Actually does knock out, and last in the team is a Zard. I would not recommend you to play Zard. I cannot recommend it. It's a very cool looking Pokemon, but that's about it. It is severely understated, right? And it just cannot hang with Pokemon that have 1000 CP more. Next, we do have a Dragonite lead. As I said before, as a Dragonite user, you wanna throw the move second usually, because in that case you can just go straight Superpower. Opponent goes for Dragon Claw bait. I would argue that this is a mistake. They should not throw the move first, and instead let me throw first and then go straight Superpower. And we get a shield right there, and I decide that I want to invest another one, and opponent now has a decision. They no shield. bring in Swampert. And they do have a Roserade. Now this is Spicy Pig. Roserade does learn Leaf Storm. Leaf Storm is an insanely hard-hitting move. Right here I do make a mistake. I wasn't paying close attention. I did have the Outrage, which would have probably knocked them out right here. And now the Roserade is still alive. It's gonna get to another Weather Ball, but the defense is... the attack is dropped due to Weather Ball, so we're actually living this... due to Leaf Storm. It's dropped to Leaf Storm. We're actually living the Weather Ball right there. But yeah, now we have Swampert versus Dragonite. And unlike in Great League or even Ultra League, where Swampert's Hydro Cannon do a lot of damage to the Dragonite, in Master League, as you can see, you can easily tank 3 of them. And probably even the 4th one is not gonna knock you out if you're at full HP at the start. And yeah, that's just gonna be it. It's a dominating matchup. Next up, we do have a Gyarados. It does have Waterfall. Against that we have to switch out. Opponent stays in. This gives me the impression that they are potentially weak to my Gyarados. That's why I'm deciding to use a shield right there. Then I go for the bait, because I feel like if they are weak to this, they are more likely to shield. I guess I was wrong. Opponent no shields that. And right here I'm like, alright. This time I'm not gonna play any games and I'm going for it, and they no shielded again. And we knock them out. Opponent goes into the Metagross after they farmed a bit with the Mamoswine. And right here I did a mistake. I should have undercharged this move probably quite a lot more. The Metagross survives it, the Metagross gets the Earthquake, and I could have come out with basically 2 moves right here if I did it correct. And would have won CMP, I believe, against Mamoswine right here. Correct me if I'm wrong, and Mamoswine actually wins CMP. But yeah, now it's a race. I have to get to a Dragon Claw. Luckily, it is a CMP tie. My opponent could have probably won the game if they did one more Powder Snow against my Excadrill. They knocked me out, but we do have the Aqua Tail from my Shundo Gyarados in the back. And it's gonna do super effective damage and will be enough to close out the game. Next up, Florges in the lead. That's a good lead. In comes a Haxorus. This thing also not level 50, it is only level 40. I don't have enough XL candy for this either. And I realized it's taking a lot of damage and was able to fully farm it down. Yeah, if you don't have the Pokemon, I don't know if I would suggest you to play, because I believe it's just gonna be frustrating. You're not gonna have success, and often not having success goes hand in hand with not having fun. Right? If you're losing a lot of games just because your Pokemon are lower level. Alright, let's see what they have right here. Pedal Blizzard. Now, that is something I did not expect. Last but not least, it is an Excadrill. And we are winning because the opponent top left right there. Another good lead for us. Excadrill winning all the leads. Opponent stays in with their Togekiss. That is suggesting that they have another Pokemon which is weak to Excadrill. Maybe a Metagross. Maybe another sort of flyer, or... yeah. So, I'm of course gonna shield as well. Shit up the Flamethrower. That would have definitely taken us out. We go for another Rock Slide. Opponent uses their second shield. They are able to get us kind of low, but we do get to the move. And here comes Metagross, and we immediately switch out, and they have Hydreigon in the back. Now that's something that I did not expect to see, but it's actually pretty good against Gyarados. With Waterfall, especially if I would have had Crunch, resisting all moves. Luckily, I do have the Outrage for these cases, and we are able to take it out right there. And now we have Waterfall Gyarados with the Metagross, which is a pretty good matchup. being able to resist all the moves. Metagross being at half HP is good for us. One superpower is gonna give it a rest, and that's gonna be game. Next up, another Togekiss lead, and by the looks of it, opponent once again staying in. I feel like a lot of people are not prepared for the lead Excadrill. Maybe they expect it only in the back. But yeah, in this scenario, it is important that you get the shields first, right? You have to be the one getting the shield first in order to not be in a situation where you are in a shield disadvantage. And you can pressure the shields. And yeah, they had a Dragonite in the back. To be honest, I think I would have preferred if they switched their Dragonite into Excadrill instead of staying in with Togekiss. But, well. And last, they have a Metagross. Their team is like, whole team has kinda not the greatest matchups versus Excadrill. They definitely did not calculate that well. And Gyarados is gonna have fun against Metagross. Look at those waterfalls chunking. And I'm not even throwing a charge move right here, because I don't want to take it out with my Gyarados and have a lot of HP left. Because that would give them the option to maybe farm a lot of energy with Dragonite and then 2 Dragon Claws. But I guess they were too low anyway. But yeah, we'll just take him out. Next game, Mamoswine lead. This is not necessarily great. Mamoswine has a pretty decent matchup against Excadrill as well as Dragonite. Gyarados, because we do have Waterfall, is preferable for us. I immediately switch out after we land the move. In comes their own Gyarados with Dragon Breath. I'm gonna go for the Outrage. There's no point in going for the Aqua Tail. Either we land the big move or they throw their energy. I decide that I want to go into my Dragonite right here because they have a lot of energy and Dragonite is way better at absorbing the energy. Opponent even baits with an Aqua Tail right there. I think that is not the most reasonable bait. Of course they could have had Outrage, but I think I should not respect that Outrage. Opponent goes for the shield right here, and then I decide I'm gonna switch out. In comes their Mamoswine. I'm able to get to my Drill One in time to take it out before it reaches another Avalanche. And what's the last Pokemon? They bring in the Gyarados once again. A little bit of starter lag, but we are able to take it out. And the last Pokemon is a Metagross. We still have a shield. That is going to be game over for them. Alright, another decent lead. As I said, Dragonite can win this in all even shields by just going straight superpower. You have to be the one throwing the superpower second. Right here, my game just froze for like, I don't know, 2 or 3 seconds. I thought it might crash totally. I've had that happen a few times. I don't know what's causing it. Alright, this opponent does it right. They do through the superpower. And then I decide to switch out, and it seems like my opponent has no answer besides their Dragonite for a Waterfall Gyarados. They bring their Metagross in, which is certainly not what you want to do. But it seems like they were forced. Maybe an Excadrill in the back. Right here, I'm doing a little bit of a mistake. Actually, I think I decided that I want to farm the Metagross down with my Excadrill. I think that was in my mind. This Excadrill with energy is pretty decent against almost everything. And last, they have an Ursaluna. That is actually the team that I was playing in my Legend run. That was in Premier Classic, however. And we switch into the Dragonite after landing a move, and they top left. Next up, Florges lead, another good lead for us. Opponent switches in. Snorlax, and with this team often there's a Steel type in the back to fight the Metagross, and that's Excadrill. That's why I'm bringing in my Dragonite right here in order to have the Gyarados for the Excadrill. This is like a team breed that I do. Let's see if it pays off. Currently we are 9-0 with the team. And opponent comes into their Floaters, they're gonna be able to farm a lot. They cannot farm me down, I believe. We're gonna end up doing too much damage. And they do make the decision to throw their move. Disarming Voice knocks us out. And they have a Haxorus, and the Haxorus is very good against Gyarados as well, against the Excadrill. And it turns out the team read that I did, costs me the game if I do not make that read. If I just switch into the Gyarados like I usually did before, I would have won this game. Maybe I should switch into my Gyarados against the Snorlax anyway, because even if it is Excadrill, my Dragonite will win that matchup, or at least do well enough in order to win the game. So yeah, probably a bad read that I did. And yeah, that's gonna end my win streak right here. Opponent is gonna Moonblast us. I'm not even throwing my Charge Move anymore. Could have top left it, to be honest, to save some time. But yeah, I'm top lefting right here. Maybe I could have won the game if I threw the move with my Excadrill and then farmed down and got into an Outrage. I don't know. But in that situation, I was kinda upset about my wrong read, and I was like, alright, the game is yours. So yeah. Thank you very much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed the video. Good luck in your own battles, and goodbye. Have a good rest of the day.